everyone. Welcome to Anything with Kani, where we talk about film, fashion, music, and just about anything. And for today's episode, I invited my friends from Plastic Honeymoon to talk about their brand, how they started, and what's the landscape of the streetwear scene in the Philippines right now. So I hope you guys like it. Let's get into it. What's happening with you guys during the quarantine? How's everything going?
Nard can go first because he came last.
Wow, wow.
Go ahead, Nerd.
Well, just designing
Mm-hmm.
because we have this collection with collaboration with we don't want to go in details, but there's a collab going on. So I'm like in the middle of designing. So uh at some part of the week I deactivated my Facebook
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
because it's Facebook's kind of toxic nowadays.
Actually,
It's like people ranting and then like the online rambulan and shit, everything. It's like fuck it.
It's true, it's true.
So though it's kind of lonely though, you know. You have no Facebook in the middle of the night, it's 3 a.m. and then you have no one to talk to. Everyone's sleeping and shit.
Yeah.
true.
So eventually, I created a drink while
Mm-hmm.
designing because I'm bored as
So
hell.
what drink is it?
Nice.
It's kind of like a soju
Mm-hmm.
bomb or like it's like soju. No, wait, it's Jack Daniels and Yakult and
Mm-hmm.
Sprite.
Soju.
No, no,
Soju?
Sprite.
Is it is it
It's
bomb?
Jack Daniels, Sprite, and Yakult.
Damn.
That's a
Yeah,
bomb.
yeah, I call it Jakult.
Bomb.
Jekyll.
Oh god.
I'll give you the props for the name.
It tastes good though. Yeah, it's like sweet.
You were probably like in the middle of it, and like, I gotta make a drink out of this.
It's boring. It's
I gotta give
boring
it
as
a cool
hell.
name is what he had to do.
In this quarantine, everyone's
Yeah.
creative. I was like, I don't know where my sister learns to like fucking do coffee from like I don't know Cafe
Yeah,
Barako,
they're
and then
doing this
like
thing, right?
she makes
The
Uh-huh.
this like
famous coffee
The
with
thick
what's it
coffee.
called? With a
The
yeah,
Dalgona
yeah.
coffee.
Oh, the
Yeah. I haven't even
Dalgona.
tried it.
yeah, I
Is it
think
good?
I tried that.
Is it worth the hype?
I'm not really a coffee
I'm not
drinker,
sure.
so I don't
I've
know.
I'm
never
not
tried
sure.
it.
I'm not sure if it's like if
Yeah.
it's that one, but it's like we try to make it like wi
Whipped.
yeah, wick it, and then like to make it
Whisk,
frothy
whisk.
in hell, and then like we pour it with the milk, and it tastes good with ice. It's like Starbucks or something. It's like yeah, shit.
So to divert this conversation more into your brand, I just want to know like let's talk about the roots of Plastic Honeymoon. So what were you guys thinking when you started the brand?
Uh, Basically, plastic honeymoon. Like, I don't know. I guess when I got in, when I
Mm-hmm.
was in college, uh, the first
Mm-hmm.
year or so, I kind of had to find out what I wanted to do. Like
This is like
everybody.
freshman year.
And fashion's always, yeah, freshman year actually. We had this project where we had to do logos and stuff. uh, and then I ended up doing everyone's doing logos about themselves, like personal brand logos. I ended up doing one for like a fashion brand that I wanted to make in the future, and so like that kind of built up from there, and here we are. you know
A couple years
ended
later.
the ended college and straight away wanted to get into making a clothing brand.
So when did Nard and Matt like became part of it?
Well, I was a little bit later,
Actually,
later in the story, so I'll let Nard go first.
go ahead, Larry.
Why me? Okay, fine. All
You're the
right.
partner. You're the
Oh yeah.
For
Was that
years.
I don't know if it's when was it? Was like final days of
Mm-hmm.
college, I guess, right?
yeah.
Well, it's like there's like a MMA week, and I was there, like selling a shirt, and then he was the only one who was
Mm-hmm.
selling shirts. I kind of got like,
Yeah,
uh,
during this MMA week, I was
Uh-huh.
making shirts to sell because I wanted to try, experimenting with clothes and
Mm-hmm.
my designs. It's my background's in
Mm-hmm.
graphic design, so I kind of tried applying the two for the
Oh, I
first
see.
time. and then Nard was there with his own brand already. I haven't even made a brand, and then
A few steps ahead
I kind of
already.
just made my own graphics and stuff. Threw it on shirts. He had his brand. He threw it on a shirt, and we were both selling during that MMA
Mm-hmm.
week.
Week.
It was actually my second brand
Yeah.
already. First one flopped, second one flopped again.
Nard and I individually probably came up with like three different brands that failed before
Mm-hmm.
Plastic Honeymoon. And I guess Plastic Honeymoon, with the name and everything and the kind of vision we had for it, we couldn't let it go. And it took like,
Yeah.
I mean, we started Plastic Honeymoon when 2016.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just a name by then, and then we came up with a logo and its story and what we wanted out of it already.
We had a
And
first brand after before that one,
yeah, we had our own personal
a
like
disgusting
ventures
one.
before that.
You were
Oh,
sad. It's because we were sad.
yeah, it's crazy how brands like change,
Yeah.
like the whole
That's
identity of it.
true.
It's just like I guess out during college we were like hella into like black
Mm-hmm.
and kind of that kind of graphical
Mm-hmm.
element of goth and death and life and
Now
death.
you
Like
said college drains you, so you're sad as hell.
Man, everyone has a
During that
so
time,
everyone
it's
has the
senior year, man.
angsty everyone has an angsty phase in their life, you know? And maybe that was yours.
it's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait,
It was just in the
yeah.
moment.
And to break it down, like what does plastic honeymoon mean? Like why the name?
All right. Yeah, we kind of came up with the name because well, personally, during my thesis,
Mm-hmm.
during senior year, I made this book titled "Behind the Hype."
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wanted to learn more about the roots of urban clothing
Mm-hmm.
and kind of portray that throughout the book, illustrate that and everything. So I learned that you know streetwear and urban wear wasn't really it was kind of shamed in the fashion
Mm-hmm.
industry before during the 80s when it was like first thought about,
Yeah,
Underground
yeah.
and stuff like that.
right?
That's true.
During that time it was shunned from the industry, the fashion industry, and you would have these you wouldn't be able to get these urban brands into the Macy's or the JC Penney's or
Mm-hmm.
whatever like that. And you know more recently we see streetwear being introduced into high
Mm-hmm.
fashion, and it's like kind of in the spotlight on runways and everything.
It's almost like there's no gap in between it
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no gap in
It's
between them.
been bridged, and that's I think that that's the coolest part of it. From people shunning it, from like to people just or to younger generation,
Yeah,
and
that's true. Like high fashion and street culture is just like intertwined right now. Yeah.
Exactly. You see LV and Supreme,
Yeah,
yep,
exactly.
and you
you
collaborate.
see like yeah,
Then you see
you see like
Supreme
Jerry
before.
Lorenzo like this is Jerry Lorenzo designing Justin Bieber's tour merch.
Yeah,
Virgil Abloh came
yeah.
from like a Kanye
Exactly.
West team or something like that. So it's
Exactly.
really
Yes, it
like
was a good merch too.
big. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I wanted one,
First-
yeah. It's hard to get.
Even H&M started, having their own spin on it, or they had the license to release it and such. So it's been a yeah, fashion now is cool. Fashion
Yeah.
and streetwear are, like
Yeah.
one thing.
It's
I
exciting
mean, like
time
for
for the
example,
fashion
before
industry.
Supreme, they did this LV inspired print,
Mm-hmm.
and they were
Yeah.
what's it
And
called?
they were sued,
They were
right?
sued for it, and
Yeah.
then now you see LV working with
I
Supreme again,
know. I know.
legitly.
I thought
The,
exactly.
the whole marriage between them, it's intertwined now, and
Yeah.
And
I
I think
guess
going back to the question,
yeah,
it's like what we wanted to do or what we see is or the meaning of Plastic Honeymoon, I guess. It's always taking the like two sides of a story in any context and then finding a bridge in between them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, if you want to go literally, a honeymoon is supposed to be something that's shared by two people after marriage, a very intimate or very heartfelt or whatever you want to call that. But then if it's plastic, that means it can also be fake. So it's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
a fake
A
love
fake love
type
affair
thing.
between the two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually it's really catchy too when you see it. Like when I first saw the brand, you guys when you guys were posting it on Facebook or in Instagram, like especially I think one of the first few times I saw it was in your wall, Mike, and then when I saw it was really it was just dope. Like, in
Thank
the end
you,
of the
thank
day,
you.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like it took us actually about 3 years to
Figure
26,
it out.
no, 2 years, 2016 to 2018 to really figure out the identity of it and release our first major collection. So I think, in between that time, we finally found what we wanted out of
Yeah.
Plastic
mm-hmm.
Honeymoon.
Well, what was the name of the first collection you guys did again?
Neutropia Volume One. We had a collection before that that was kind of a primer collection, trying to introducing the brand with just the basic logo. Yeah, that what he's wearing. Basic logos, front and back.
Yeah, actually,
Should
that's
I?
one thing. I saw it recently too, and it's the one with the jacket and
Uh,
the
the all
pants,
over
right?
print one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, what's the inspiration behind that?
Future kind of. It was the second iteration of Neutropia. So it's
Mm-hmm.
Neutropia Volume Two. Uh, and then we wanted to kind of portray what Neutropia was through an all over print,
Mm-hmm.
and we wanted to test our abilities to be able to design something that's like wilder than the first pieces that we did make,
Mm-hmm.
and test what local manufacturers could really do, so we know
Mm-hmm.
kind of what we can make in the future also.
Uh-huh.
And future kind of it to put it into words, it's Neutropia, which is we made it as the middle ground of a utopia and a dystopia, and
Mm-hmm.
through the all over print, we designed it to be like what the future could be, kind of like a butterfly
Mm-hmm.
effect. So one small change could ripple
Okay.
into unforeseen future type thing. So we went really
Yeah, it
like
looks good.
futuristic and weird with the designs. We had like
Yeah.
a girl with three boobs and like
Yeah, yeah. I saw. And there's some
bottom and top
explosions
there's
there.
like hell, and on top it's
Yeah.
like tranquility,
Tranquility.
right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
flying cars and city in the sky kind of thing.
I remember you guys. All three of you were like one of the like freshest people in school.
Really,
And then one thing, yeah,
you were
definitely.
too,
And
man.
one thing,
I
hey.
grabbed you from my thesis. I
and
believed in your style,
oh, I
right?
remember. I remember. I think you did a like a photo shoot thing,
Yeah, it
right?
was for it was for my book, the
Yeah.
behind the hype book.
How you guys got into fashion yourselves? And what's the story behind why did you like link into that art?
I know. I think for me, like being a musician, right? You kind of look up to a bunch of different artists who then become your idols, and then you start to pick up like the tiniest of details on like, oh, how he wears his cardigan, or like if he wears a bandana, or like what t-shirts he kind of wears. So I think from like growing up listening to like Green Day or like My Chemical Romance, not that I was gonna wear like a Black Parade type suit to school or whatever, but like I always knew, yeah, right. I always knew like, or had like a grasp on what didn't look good, so then I just wore the opposite of that. What I thought was the opposite of what didn't look good. So I always had like a grasp of like, oh, I could wear this to express this feeling or that feeling, and like more so I could like for me it's bridging like the two of what I wear and like what the music that I make, and then with this now it's more so like trying to. And I think as a brand, it's like we all know that clothes is a way of self expression, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a way to tell stories. So I think at the end of the day, we want to tell stories through different articles of clothing throughout what we think of the
Mhm.
world or through
Yeah.
what we're feeling in that given
Yeah.
time, something like that.
How about you, Nerd?
Okay. Uh, I started with like when I was in third grade. I said, yeah, second or third grade. It's like it's more of the music, to be honest. It's like I started listening to rap when I was in second and third grade, and then I found out about music videos. So I saw what rappers used to wear. I just tried to copy them. It's like not really into fashion, but like I have fun, like copying whatever I see in the music videos. Well, was it YouTube? No, there's no YouTube yet. Yeah,
It's like mix.
Third grade.
yeah, Mix. I had to go to Mix. And then like I probably took it seriously when found out about ASAP Rocky. When I saw like his music video of Peso, that's when I knew I had to like step it up.
Right.
I'm
Fashion
Mr.
guy.
Shooter.
Yeah. Like Matt and Nard, I guess it kind of stemmed from music at the beginning, during I guess the beginning of high school, and then I was into skateboarding also, and I kind of found my crowd in high school through skateboarding. And there was this whole hype around Nike SB and collecting, and that's how it introduced me into fashion. Actually, started with shoes and the whole reselling, and if you get this shoe, it's in limited runs, and then it can hype up. Yeah, the sneaker game. You get more money from it even if you wear it, type stuff. So that's how it started. And I've always been into fashion. Like from my earliest memories, I can remember like getting those character shoes with the light up soles.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
That's OG.
yeah. Hey, those are
actually, if I
fire.
can find one in my size, I would cop it. I would
I would
rock
rock them right
Heelys, man.
now.
I till
Yeah.
now I would rock Heelys. Make it a thing.
Just give us a breakdown of like the branches of Plastic Honeymoon and how guys delegate work, or what's the process between design and
Uh,
manufacturing.
like the whole
Yep.
process starts with kind of finding inspiration. Uh, like I guess it depends really, because at the growth of our brand, of finding our identity and stuff, uh, we kind of we kind of turned to using just the graphical elements, and then after that we kind of wanted to explore the storytelling aspect of Plastic Honeymoon, and so
Yeah.
we came together, thought of a story to tell, thought about what garments could complement the story more. um, and with t-shirts, it's like it's endless possibilities with t-shirts and prints. I mean, streetwear at its very core is prints on prints and branding. um,
Yeah.
and so at the beginning, we kind of, to the manufacturing stage of it, we because my our backgrounds are really in the arts and the graphic design aspect of it, of Plastic Honeymoon, but that's only like, I guess, 20% of the whole work into making a brand, I would say.
Yeah.
And so we were looking for these manufacturers who to work with, and it just ended up being a pain, because they would restrict us from not making low quantities, and we were just a beginning brand at the time. So we had to find better ways on how to invest our money, and so we turned more efficient ways,
More
definitely.
efficient ways, I think.
And so we turned to learning how to screen print and learning how to sew, so that we can be more in control of our quantity. Things would be cheaper, and you know most definitely
And
quality.
quality,
Yeah.
I would say.
So like I kind of turned my house into a low key sweatshop.
Loki, yeah. Factory.
Hey, that's how all businesses start,
Right.
anyways, right? One thing that I really find interesting is the local streetwear scene is like really booming, like for the past
Yeah.
years, like recently compared to I remember back then, like when I was young, there was not a lot of like local brands where I could like find like dope stuff in, And just now, I feel like more of the stuff that I want to buy
Oh,
are by these local designers. And I think, especially when you guys launch Plastic Honeymoon and seeing you guys grow from where it was and where it is now, there's just like there's already demand and supply to what's going on. So, what do you guys think about the
uh,
change of that? Yeah, the change of the landscape of the local streetwear fashion.
I think we're still in our infancy
Yeah,
stage.
still young.
Um, Definitely have room to grow, and I think that it has to be done collectively. To be honest, we have to grow together, and that's the only way that we could reach. Because a lot of brands I know want to reach a global market locally, and I don't think it would happen unless everyone was on board, especially the consumers. Because like a lot of consumers here, kind of they have that
Standard or like stigmatism towards local
towards international.
towards
If it's international, it's better type thing. So we want to remove that stigma and make clothes that uh, tell stories, serve purpose. Something
Yeah,
abstract.
definitely. One thing I think that stands out with how you guys create your designs is just it's one of those items where you can look at it and it's like watching a film. You kind of understand the concept just by looking at a single piece.
Yeah, much like with a brand, a lot of influence comes from music and film. Actually, if you see our designs for Neutropia Volume One, uh, for example, the let's see, the Life's a Gamble shirt, the pink salmon shirt. Uh, Graphically, we took inspiration from Superfly, and then for let's say our brainwashed shirt, uh, we took inspiration from uh, Metropolis for that one. So we take a lot of inspiration from different films and music, really, into
Yeah.
our graphics, and it's music and film are the best ways of telling stories. So
Yeah.
we applied that into our graphics, definitely.
Yeah, cuz like whenever you guys create or release stuff and I would always see them especially like when Ash used to like always promote your stuff, I
yeah.
would always
We'll
like see it in
come
as
up on
well.
stage after.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Ash.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shouts out to
Shout out to
Shout out
Ash.
to
Ash.
us.
First episode clutch that so yeah, so that's one thing that I feel like it's such a innovative way of or way of you guys designing Plastic Honeymoon. It's just the integration of storytelling. And how did that like affect the other pieces that you're releasing aside from like just clothing? Because I've
Hmm.
recently seen you've branched out to accessories as well, like your bags, your belts. So what led to that transition into developing accessories as well?
I think developing as a brand, it's like we don't only want to come out with t-shirts. As great as t-shirts are, I think that was like a development. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, if I don't remember correctly, but it's kind of like moving away from just like the brand logo on t-shirt type brand,
Hmm.
where
Mm-hmm.
it's more of, oh, we like to wear jackets more, so maybe we should start designing jackets, or the type of pants that we wear. Like I guess the clothes that they design, and I can safely say that with every design that they put their heart and soul into each piece, it's kind of like, oh, let's make this so that we can wear it, and then hopefully other people dig it as well. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
sort of part of the mindset, I guess, and part of it really is also studying the trends of what's in, what other brands are doing, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's
I
kind of like a
mean,
mix.
I think that during the design process, we kind of think first and foremost, uh, what would we wear this? What thing we can only make things that we would wear type of
Mm-hmm.
mentality, which is kind of
Yeah,
selfish of
yeah.
us, but we believe that
The
whatever
art is
we believe
selfish
in
though.
our own taste, and
Uh-huh.
we hope that if we like it, we know that other people
Other
would
people
like
like
it.
it too.
Yeah,
Yeah, so with Plastic Honeymoon, like what's the end goal for where you guys see where Plastic Honeymoon's gonna be?
global domination.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think, Nard? What do you think of Plastic Honeymoon? Actually, Plastic Honeymoon
Mm,
started between Nard and I first, and then we brought Matt into the picture
Uh huh.
to kind of
Yeah.
build.
Sure, and it took too long. And I said, "Hey, do you guys think you need help?"
Yeah, we need help.
like, yeah,
Put it
We
together,
need so
and
much
it
help.
just felt right.
So is Plastic Honeymoon you guys like main like bread and butter for everything?
Mean, I think I can speak for all of us by saying no, not at all. It's like we just keep injecting money into the brand, and we're
Mm-hmm.
breaking even type of stuff.
It's like an
Yeah,
investment.
breaking even. I mean, and it's going to be like that for a
Oh yeah,
while. So I think the longer that it is like this, and once if it starts making money, then that reward will become a little more
exactly.
sweet.
I mean, for
Yeah.
any business, that's how
Yeah, you
it
guys are
works.
creating. Exactly. You have to
Yeah,
spend to earn. Definitely. And if I felt like I just like rushed into being an adult right after college with starting 1990. And then I feel like all businesses are the hard part about it is just there's no security in knowing if it's gonna
exactly.
work or not, but it comes with the dream of like just
Yeah,
pushing it. And what led you to like because it's no joke to start a business.
no,
It's
no, no.
especially how much money
I
you have
know.
to
Yeah,
spend for it. So what made you guys like really put full force after college just developing the brand itself?
go ahead, Mike.
Well, for me, I don't have any choice. I really have to do this.
It's make it or break it for Nard.
Yeah, I, I, I didn't go to college,
Mm-hmm.
so basically,
Wait, I thought you were in Mint.
no,
Everyone thinks he went to
Yeah,
Mint.
the entire time I was in college, I thought you were a
I'm just
student
chilling
there.
there.
So you were just okay.
I just blend in like, oh, hey, so this is what school feels like. Yeah?
Every day.
It's crazy. Have you guys yeah do you guys have any like nightmares in the fashion industry
Uh,
like, that you personally went through?
Well,
every part of it was trial and error. I can tell you that.
yeah, it was a
Yeah.
nightmare. Some point, like punching the screen of the screen print.
Every process of it just was a headache. But I can tell you that
Mm-hmm.
we learn from our mistakes, and every step of the
Mm-hmm.
path of Plastic Honeymoon was a mistake, and we learned from it. So I think we've got a solid brand
Hey, at
right
least you're
now,
continuously
a
learning.
solid identity.
Yeah, that's true. And line, what's the next line of the brand? Do not to go into details, but just like a kind of like a brief injection of what's the idea behind what's going
Oh,
on
we've
next.
got right now we're working on a project, a collaboration with uh,
Mm-hmm.
a company. Like, we don't want to get
Mm-hmm.
into too many details because we're still
Yeah.
proposing the designs to these people, and I think it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a big move for the brand. Um,
Nice.
and then after that, we've kind of got our vision for what we want as our next collection, and then we work on that.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we've got a couple more collaborators lined up. Um, we just gotta work on those
Mm-hmm.
afterwards.
The next steps of Plastic Honeymoon right now are a bunch of collaborations with different artists, right?
Uh,
With different brands and artists. So, yeah, other than just like fashion itself, have you guys like linked towards like collaborating with a brand that's not fashion driven or
that's
not
our
a
next
fashion brand at all?
collaboration. That's what we're working on right now. Yeah, they have nothing to do with the fashion industry, I guess.
Yeah,
But I think you guys would be
Uh-huh.
psyched to see what we come up with this collection. It's
Hey, I
gonna
can't
be
wait
a
to see
banger
that.
for sure, for sure.
If you guys have anything to say or anything to promote, you guys can link it up here, or anything to say to the younger individuals or the younger artists, designers who want to start their own brand, you can give them their tips here. And yeah, so the floor is yours.
I think I'll go first. If you are a young aspiring artist of whatever industry or art form, just see how far it can get you, and don't be afraid to try it. I think the first thing,
Mm-hmm.
take the leap, just take the first step. You know, what I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, and I think that's where
Yeah.
we all are on it.
Yeah, I think I'd say kind of try to focus on you want to what you want to accomplish in life, and kind of
Mm-hmm.
tackle that as soon as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and be head driven. Just be patient. Understand that the process of it just it's naturally long.
Yeah, Nard.
How about you, Nard?
Uh, just believe in yourself. It's it's corny as fuck, but just believe in yourself
It is the truth.
because it all starts with yourself. If you don't have like you don't trust yourself, you're not gonna make it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you don't asa it to like people of like acceptance or anything. It's like your shit is good, so you just you know
You just keep going.
yeah.
That's true. Thank you guys for being part of this second
Thank
episode.
you.
It's been a great time having
It's been
you.
a
Pleasure.
pleasure.
And just continually, yeah, continually wash your hands. Sanitize
Yeah.
everything and keep
Quarantine life,
designing.
man.
Quarantine.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys will do
I'll
next.
be on the lookout.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, bye
Thank you.
guys. Thank you.